all out in one piece. It moved. Ciao everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing my take on Arrabbiata pasta. This is a recipe which I have modified with a little bit of creativity and imagination. One of the most exciting parts of cooking for me is experimenting new things in the kitchen, and the opportunity to share it with you is absolutely wonderful. The literal translation of Arrabbiata, by the way, is angry, as in being upset. But I think the word fiery most probably is more appropriate in English because of the spiciness of the sauce. So I'll start with a couple of cloves of garlic and I'll give them a good squash, and I will add them to my oil. And I've also chopped a couple of green peppers. You can also use red peppers if you like. These are mild, mostly because Julie is not too keen on spicy food. I told her use one, don't tell I'm putting two in. And I will also be adding some chili flakes, which I've got here. It has to be spicy, otherwise it's not arrabbiata. Very important to take your time here, by the way, and let it sizzle and gently build up for a good couple of minutes. I'm crushing my garlic as much as I can. I will leave mine in, but by all means, once your sauce is cooked, you can remove if you like. 2 minutes in, before the garlic changes color, I'll add 500 milliliters of tomato passata. I just added a drop of water so that I can rinse the carton and flush in. I'll turn the temperature down to medium-low, I'll place the lid on and I'll leave it to simmer for about 15 minutes. My fiery arrabbiata is going to be baked in the oven with steak and ricotta. But if you're vegetarian, just drop the steak. I've just oiled my griddle and my steak goes on. And I'll make this very, very rare, no more than 90 seconds to 2 minutes for each side. Perfect. That can come off. You can see from the inside that it's still very, very rare as I wanted it. And I'll move it into a bowl, a little more olive oil, a little pinch of salt, a little pepper, and a tiny, tiny little pinch of oregano. And I'll mix it all together and I'll leave it on one side to marinate. Water is boiling, pinch of salt, and my penne go in. Penne is the signature pasta type used in Italy for this recipe, but you use whatever you like, it doesn't really matter. However, what is important is the cooking time. The guidance from the packaging is that they should be cooking for 10 to 12 minutes. So I will be cooking mine for half of that amount, so about 5 to 6 minutes. So whatever pasta you're using, have a look at the packaging and use half for the cooking time, as it will be finished cooking in the oven. And I'm ready to move my pasta into a bowl now. The sauce is also ready and I'm adding a generous handful of parsley. And it's looking very good and it's got a wonderful and rich colour. I'll just try some. Oh, it's gonna be spicy. It'll be interesting to see Julie's face when she has some. Gosh, that's got a kick. I can feel it in my throat still. I'm moving some of the sauce, about half, to the pasta. And I'll mix it all together. And by the way, the reason why the pasta is not fully cooked is because like this, it will absorb all of the remaining flavors from the sauce. And I'll move about half of my pasta at the bottom of an iron dish, followed by a very, very generous handful of grated, this is cheddar, mature cheddar. Reason why I've gone for mature cheddar is to have a little bit more of a kick against the spiciness of the chilies. Followed by some of the steak, and I'll keep a few pieces for the very, very top. In goes the rest of my pasta, followed by the rest of my sauce. Of course, as I mentioned before, this is my own take on the arrabbiata. You can cook the pasta to the end and just mix it together and eat it. That is generally how arrabbiata is done. I mentioned ricotta, so a tub of ricotta, 250 grams that is. I'm adding a little salt first and I'll mix it in together. And the purpose of the salt, by the way, is to make ricotta salata, which is a very typical Sicilian ingredient. And I will add on the very, very top layer. A quick spread and I'll finish the top layer with a sprinkle of dry breadcrumbs. And this is another Sicilian touch to the recipe. I'm putting just enough to cover the surface, not more than that, otherwise the dry breadcrumbs will absorb a lot of the moisture which we don't want. But the purpose is to give the top layer a lovely golden color and crunchiness. And it is ready for the oven. I will leave as it is. I will not be putting any tin foil or anything on top. Temperature 190 degrees, time 20 minutes. So I'll see you then. And there she is, looking very, very arrabbiata. I will leave it to rest for a few minutes. It's piping hot, so I'll see you in a little while. And as I'm feeling very creative today, before I slice a portion, I want to see if I can get it all out in one piece. This might end up bad, but let's try. Still very, very hot, so put gloves on and I'll give it a turn. Ooh, it moved. Let's remove the dish. Wow, I'm glad I did it. It looks really, really good. And you will recall that I kept a few of the strips from my steak to garnish the top, and I'll do that now. And I'll try some, and then I'll go and break the news to Julie. It's wonderful. No, it's delicious and wonderful. Really, really good. I'm so pleased I made it, and if you make it, I'm sure you will love it as well. I just try a little bit with the ricotta. I didn't get any. Actually, the cheese I put in the middle has absorbed some of the heat and is very, very palatable. So I'm sure that Julie will not have any problems whatsoever with it. So to conclude, I have modified the standard recipe, and using my own additional ingredients, I've created something that tastes absolutely delicious. So that goes to show that in the kitchen there is no right, there is no wrong. If you're doing something new, it's an opportunity to actually reward your creativity, and it should be applauded. To me, cooking is about bringing people together, sharing joy and creating memories. And I hope that this recipe will create some good memories, even if they're a little bit fiery and arrabbiata. Arrivederci, grazie and buon appetito. Ciao.